And I mean to the little girl that's going to be on today.
Only one again. One. The like Crafties has slowed down. There's been a lot of reading because we went to the bookstore yesterday. So this whole weekend has been all reading. And before that, there was just a lot of reading. And so.
And you know what I noticed? Somebody bought a book that I had back ordered for them for Christmas that finally came.
What one?
The Bhagwat.
Oh, I bought that because I forgot you were. Oh, well, I can just return it.
I actually have 2 copies of it.
You have 2 copies? Oh, well, I'll just return that one because I only bought it because I was like, oh, yeah, I was thinking about getting this one for Christmas, but I forgot that we talked about that. So that was The Bark of the Bog Owl by Jonathan Rogers. So it's kind of a children's young adult, like younger reader, but I have been looking forward to reading it because I really like the author. So I had given that as a presentation for one of the girls for Christmas to you, to Mom, and then I totally forgot that you had it back ordered. So I will.
Yeah. It's the Christmas that keeps on giving.
I know. Well, we had to go to the bookstore yesterday because Millie had a book series that we had ordered that was back ordered for Christmas as well. So we went to go pick up that for her. Oh. And then I had a gift card, and so we just picked. I had posted on Instagram. If you want to go find my Instagram, you can see all the goodies that we picked up. One of them I'm going to share today when we get to our little book talk. But we are here to talk about stitching and obviously other stuff like books and good things. Today is January 31st. 31st.
We survived January 2021.
We got through. February is actually short, so then we'll be closer to spring, which is better.
To quote Carolyn's book, only 11 more months till Christmas.
Yeah, I think you said that last week too.
No, Dad took our Christmas tree down today.
Yeah, it's probably time.
We didn't have any ornaments on it. We just had lights on it, but
yeah. Did you have some red stuck in it too?
I had some poinsettias still stuck in the.
Because I think when we were FaceTiming, I saw it and I was like, I thought she took everything off of it. But.
Yeah, no, they were just the artificial that I stick in to kind of fill in a few of the gaps. It's
I found a new sparkling water. It's new to me. Our WIPGO, I think WIPGO might be a regional grocery store.
It's Idaho, Washington, Idaho, Nevada, California, Oregon, I think. WIPGO stands for those states, but maybe it's in other states too.
Oh, I never even knew that. Okay, so I don't know if it's expanded past kind of the Northwest region, but I'm sure this is other stores because this is actually a Coca-Cola brand. It's a sparkling water like a LaCroix, but this one's really good, and it was a little cheaper than the LaCroix. It's blueberry pomegranate. Anyway, I just thought I'd share.
Is it called Aha?
Called Aha. And there was another, do you remember there was a like watermelon one, which I'm not a huge fan of watermelon flavored stuff. And then there was another citrusy one, I think. So I haven't tried that one yet. I picked up 2 different kinds.
Are you going to go to WIPGO before you come next weekend?
I don't know. You want me to pick you up some?
Citrus one.
Okay.
I haven't been going to my WIPGO for now, so I won't be.
Yeah, if I do, I will. I'm not.
Sarah is coming next weekend, so we'll get to record in person.
Yeah, that will be fun. I'm excited for that. So is Millie, who's like hyperventilating over here. We're excited to go.
Yeah. That baby shower.
Yeah, little baby shower. That will be nice. Let's see. Millie's asking to go first because she wants to go back to reading.
Yes, let's get Millie up here.
Millie over. Okay, Millie, show us what you did this week. I'll slide back a little.
All right, you show the
pattern. Show the pattern. She's in a weird mood today. Tiny Modernist, Woodland Friends. If you've watched us for any length of time, you've seen this many, many times. Okay. You want me to hold it?
Yes.
Okay, you come over and tell about what you did.
I stitched that, and this is a fox's tail.
Which?
The fox's head.
You're working on the fox.
Yeah.
Okay, so see the fox. See the fox.
Oh, okay. So you did the tip of his tail?
This is his ear.
Mm-hmm. Tail is right here, and this is his head.
Oh, I see. Okay, here.
Where's his tail? Where's his tail?
So this white right here is his tail. And
hold the picture up again.
Oh, the picture? Here, I dropped it.
I'm trying to orientate myself on it.
The tail tip is off to the...
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Millie. It's got little mushrooms. Oh, that's going to be so cute.
And a little bird sitting on one.
Mm-hmm.
And a little stump. Okay, so here, I'll show it one more time. So we've got birch trees in white and a fox ear in white and gray and a fox tail tip. Is it all white, regular white?
Yeah.
So all of this is all white. Good for you stitching white. That's not a very fun color to stitch. Good job.
Wow.
I think everything.
Good job, Millie. You're bombing along on that. I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
Oh, you're going to be so happy when it's all finished.
I know.
Framed. What a special thing you'll have forever. Here, I'll show you something I stitched when I was younger. That's also special, but I don't know if I'll ever hang it.
I wish I could find my first one.
I don't
know mine's here.
I don't know who the designer is of these, but there's two and they're connected. They're probably the same pamphlet. Do you remember me stitching?
Yeah, probably Alma Lynn. I bet that's it looks like an Alma Lynn.
Here, let me fold it a little so I can hold it straighter. It says, I believe in angels.
That's the style of Alma Lynn anyway.
Yeah, isn't that so? Is it so 90s?
Excuse me.
Do you know what's missing? Can you guess what I didn't do?
French knots.
French knots. Because I inherited your fear of French knots at that point.
Yeah,
I
probably
think these are really cute. So even though it's not at all my style at all,
yeah.
I still think they're really cute.
They are cute. And it's a cute little saying. And I mean, you can make it into like a little pillow and stick it in somewhere.
I just did a little pillow and just kind of tucked it somewhere in the springtime. So then this is the big one that goes with it. Same, I'm sure, pamphlet.
Oh my gosh. I think those are Alma Lynn. I could be wrong though. There were several designers that were like that.
We might have the pamphlet somewhere.
But they don't have eyes either.
No French knots anywhere to be seen.
I'm so sorry I failed you on the French knots.
Well, I know how to do them now, thanks to YouTube.
No, those were a lot of work.
I know, look at all that back stitching.
A lot of stitching, and it's good stitching from what I can see.
Oh, I did a great job. I really did. I mean, okay, here's the thing. I am a very conscientious stitcher. I was thinking about this earlier this week. Like, you know how sometimes you'll watch Flosstubers and they'll be like, oh, don't look at the back. I'm always like, go ahead and look at my back. It's like, I mean, look at, and I still stitch this way because again, you taught me, don't carry over more than like 4.
Yeah, you don't carry.
And in my head, I was always like, well, what if I wanted to enter this into the fair or something and it was going to be judged and I would want it to be, so like the back is really nice.
It was really nice because what were you? Probably not even a teenager then, were you?
Oh, this was probably high school, don't you think?
Oh, maybe you were high school.
I wish I had done a date.
You know what's really funny about this is I don't have any specific memories, like specific memories of seeing you stitch when you were at home.
Sure, she's so cute.
I know.
Girl with the apples.
I know.
Well, I must have stitched all the time because I have a whole gallon full.
I don't like to think, oh, remember when Sarah used to sit here and stitch? Were you in your bedroom doing it? So I wasn't really watching you?
Well, remember, I think I've talked about this before. I would go over to Mary. So there was a lady in our church. We went over every week and I stitched for a few hours at least, probably over at her house. She was like a grandmother and like a grandmother to some of my friends. And she had a little group of us girls that came and she stitched with us and taught us to knit.
Hi, Millie girl.
But I'm sure I must have stitched other times because this is like, I have a lot of stuff, but I don't really have a lot of specific memories of where or when I was stitching. I just remember that I stitched.
Yeah.
And I did it really.
It's crazy.
It's really nice, even stitching. There's like no knots, no.
No, your back really is good. I have to say, my backs are not necessarily that great anymore. I don't carry very far, but well, part of why I don't carry very far is that with all the specialty threads, I don't want to waste them.
I know. I don't like it when they show up behind.
Oh.
They're loose and then they pull. So I probably still don't really carry more than 4 to 5 stitches. And it's not too much work for me to just snip it, you know, like end it and snip it.
And I don't do a whole lot of pieces where there's a lot of little individual confettis either. Those are harder to do.
I don't do that either. I do tend to do more. I don't know. The more I'm looking at this, the more I'm thinking, maybe I really just need to frame this and put this up.
Be cute, maybe over in your little kitchen nook area.
Yeah.
Aren't you gonna put chairs over there? And I don't know.
Like
it is cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. I don't know why it's just not. I haven't done anything with it because it's not my. Like I wouldn't probably stitch it now, but it is really cute.
I'm going to turn my light up a little bit. I feel like I've gotten fuzzy again.
Do you have a fully or previous finish?
I do. See if that's better. Is that better?
I think so. I didn't really notice it not being good before.
I don't know. It just felt, yeah. So I've talked before. Well, I don't know if I've ever actually talked about this, but so when I taught myself to stitch when I first got married before Sarah was born, and I stitched all the time for years and years and years. I went back to work. I went back to work when Sarah was, you were just getting a year before you got married.
Yeah.
So it was 15 years ago. So I stitched up until about 15 years ago. And I even stitched a couple years into my work experience. So let's say maybe 13 years ago, I stopped stitching. And then about in 2018, I started stitching again. But for that last bit of time that I stitched almost only shepherd's bush. I had a lot of shepherd's bush kits. I loved them. And this sits on my dining room shelf.
Oh yeah.
And it's fallish, and you can't read it because it's shepherd's bush, but it says crow and cherries and watermelon and strawberries. It's got little buttons down here, little birds, and the little girl and sunflowers.
It's always quite a bit of work because they've got all those rows of specialty stitches.
And this on 36 count, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man,
and yeah, it's got little like the little are those like Algerian crosses, or I don't know what those are. It's not gonna focus.
Yeah, it's a little unfocused.
But I was thinking about this piece, and I'm pretty sure I remember working on this. There were a couple of times when we were younger, when I was still stitching, and my mom and dad would give my husband and I a weekend away at the ocean. And so my good friends would take my 4 kids for the weekend, and we would go away. And I remember this one year, I'm there at the beach with my husband, and I'm stitching away, and we're having a great weekend. And I get a call from my friend who says, I don't want to alarm you, but all of our children, I had 4, she had 4, have been exposed to whooping cough. And apparently earlier in the week or sometime, another family that we got together with, our kids played together, they had active cases of whooping cough. And so there was like this scare of whether our kids' vaccines were strong enough yet, because it was a big deal. And I'm like, oh, great. And several of the kids at her house were not feeling good. I think 2 of you weren't. I don't know. And so she was just keeping an eye on you. She was a nurse, so I wasn't too worried. But I just remember thinking, great. The one time all year I get away from my kids, I have to get a call that they might have whooping cough. So, but I remember working on this piece down there at that time. So it was a long time ago. I didn't date it, but you were young enough that you had to stay in somebody's house.
To stay home. So I was definitely, yeah.
So it sits up most of the year, except for when I have my seasonal stuff up. But yeah, I've got several. In fact, I'll just go into that because this is part of my haul. Along the lines of that, I think I showed these last week, but I did these. Did I show this last week or did I show you?
Oh,
so
I remember. I don't remember.
This is called Pansy Walk. I think I just told you because I think
you were talking.
Yeah, this one says fragile blooms in a vibrant frock, dancing on my pansy walk. And there is lots of specialty stitches, and there's no beads on this one. And I have a feeling that maybe I'm not done. I don't know, I am. I usually I feel like there should be something up here.
Yeah, it looks kind of empty compared to how they usually look. Well, here.
You don't have the pattern. I might have the pattern.
I don't remember. Yeah, so you had passed some of those to me, but I don't know if I remember that one in particular.
But it's weird that I would do that border before I would do that section, because I always did the border last. Old habits die hard. But I'm thinking maybe I'll just get some little tiny buttons and just space them around there. Because I want to get these framed. And so I have another one too I'm going to show. So when I went on my little excursion, my every other week excursion to my needlework store into Hobby Lobby, I bought this beautiful pink frame. That because these are so long and skinny, I'm going to mount this on a piece of sticky board and then mount this and cover this with this beautiful pale pink fabric, and then mount my piece without the glass in the middle of the frame. Because I don't want to try to find another frame like this because they're all tall, and I don't even know where I got this frame for this one. probably, I don't even know. And maybe if I looked online, people do buy frames online, but that's my goal. I was gonna hopefully do it this yesterday.
Can you tell if there's a row of stuff? Like, see how, like, it does look like really.
Yes, there's probably some eyelets or something maybe, or.
Yeah, it's a blurry picture.
It's a blurry picture. I'll have to try to find it, but I'm not doing them. I'll just get some itty bitty little pearl buttons and just do a little row of pearl buttons.
Say, like little beads or buttons, just stitch them on there. There you go.
So I bought the stuff to do that one, and then I bought the stuff because I finished this one years ago too, and I did date this one. I dated this one in 2001.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And this one says Violet Vespers, Evening Falls, Gentle Memory, Childhood Calls.
I think you might have passed me that pattern. I might have.
And this house has, you can't see it very well, but it's got beads all along the roof line. There's a lot of beads on this one. So it's got this muted kind of greeny color. So I didn't want a white frame. And I was able actually to find this frame, which has off-white with kind of a bluey green. And then I bought this fabric to do the same thing. I'm going to mount it on sticky board and then just stick it on top of the frame. So hopefully maybe next week I'll have that ready to show you guys, but I just didn't feel like doing it yesterday. Like I said, I was telling Sarah, I've been feeling just achy in the evenings and kind of headachy, and it's damp here, and maybe it's still from the shot. You know, you're building immunity for like 21 days. So I ran out of steam, but that was part of my haul. But I just thought I'd show that since I was showing Shepherd's Bush. But I had a lot. I have probably, I don't know, another one of these that's partially done, and some other kits that never got started because I would ask for them for Christmas even when I stopped stitching, but I would put them on my Christmas list and my husband would buy them for me because I was like, oh, I want to stitch, but I just couldn't for I think computer work and everything. Some sun.
Like we haven't seen it for a few days, several days. Now that we're filming, it's like right on me.
No sun here.
It's just like a little pocket, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna go for a minute. So I don't really want to adjust my lighting to make it better.
Move. Yeah, it'll move. So anyway, what do you have for whips this week?
So for whips, let's see. Reorganize my brain here. Okay, so that's the previous finishes. Okay, I'm just gonna grab them and show. So I worked on my toile sampler from this Better Homes and Garden. I've showed it before, and here's the finished thing. So this week you'll see I started working on, I stitched one of the birds, I think this bird, and then I started stitching around here, and I think I had one other thing I finished up somewhere along in there. So if you pull out the fabric. This is so pretty. I really like it.
Yeah, it's really filling up.
No, look. So yeah, it really is full. I realized, oh, I know. I had only done like up to here on this flower, like I did all this, but then so I kept looking, thinking, wait, that bird should be closer to the base of the flower. And then finally I realized I just hadn't stitched the last little pedestal on that. And then I did this whole birdie, sweet little bird. Oh. And I started this it's a big pedestal vase of flowers.
It's coming along. Wow.
It's a nice one to stitch. It's just the few colors. It kind of makes me think I might like doing like a monochromatic. Sorry. One of those long dog samplers that are sort of.
Oh yeah, you can do beautiful.
Because it really draws attention to the stitch design when you just have simple colors, which is kind of different. Let's see. Oh, I worked on this. I was kind of trying to finish the house on my wintry Christmas.
I think a floss might have fallen. Did you catch it?
Yeah. A red floss. Oh, it went down. I'll grab it. Thanks. Okay. This piece of fabric is big. I'm going to fold it in half. So I've been stuck on this house for this little cabin forever and a day, it feels like. I'll fold it one more. There we go. So I was like, I did all of this week and all of this too. Wait.
Wow.
Yes, all of that. So I started down here, went up and over, and I was hoping to get all the way back down, but I ran out of steam and wanted to work on some other things this week instead. But,
Not that long ago, all you had was the white. You were just working on white. Wow.
and this is a little bit of green filled in here. I think the hearts are white.
Mhm.
But I need to buy, I think I have more B5200. You know, I'm trying to remember if I'm doing B5200 or Blanc. I have to look at it and compare.
Yeah.
I think I took the white out of this, and so I didn't have it handy when I went, and I was like, well, time to switch to red, which is actually a lot nicer to stitch on blue fabric. I did a lot of that early in the week, and then, oh, I did not very much on this. I wanted to get more done on my gathering eggs, and this is my February WIPGO piece that just got called, but I just got more of the orange done on her skirt, the ruffle on the skirt under her little apron.
Cute.
Oh, cute.
So cute.
Really nice. There's multiple shades of orange and red in
I believe it. Because there was like 50 in her little sleeves.
I know, many colors. I know when I finish and put these all back in all the DMCs back in my floss, I'm gonna have like so many more colors than I probably even had. And then I only worked on 2 other things. I feel like there's something I worked on that I didn't pull. But no, I think that's probably. Okay, so I've really enjoyed stitching on this too. The August poppies from Cottage Garden Samplings. And now I see their patterns popping up all the time over Instagram.
Really?
I probably was seeing them and not even connecting the design. So I don't know. I'm using the called for colors. And so I did the bottom, the sand. Okay, here's where I've gotten so far.
Uh-huh.
I ran out of the green. The green I already had in my stash, and it's baby spinach. What is that, weeks or is
Gentle Arts, I think.
maybe?
Yeah.
Gentle Arts.
I think it's Gentle Arts.
I ran out, so I think last week I said I needed to place an order for a couple of specialty flosses. I need to do that this week and add that one in. Because I ran out of the green for the poppy stems. I'm almost done. I just have like a few more things here. I did all of this week, and then I started on the poppies, and I'm not thrilled with the color. The picture looks a little bit more vibrant red with more variegation.
Oh, what does it call for?
Well, it calls for this country redwood, which actually looks a lot like brighter right now because the sun's shining on it than I think it really does. Let me see.
Yeah.
It's like a little more brown than I feel like it's even showing up on the camera. But I think I might just need to pick and choose which strands I use and try to go for some of the lighter strands because the red
is it just the middle of the poppy, not the outdoor? Is the whole poppy then?
The outer part is like an orangey. It's like
that's fine. Yeah.
This 900.
Hold the picture up again. Well, that's pretty brown in that picture.
I know. I guess maybe I just hoped it to be a little. I'm going to keep going with it. I'm not going to make any changes.
I like it though. I think it's pretty. I think it's got a nice contrast. It's really rich looking. Not rich. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Well, maybe when you get the other ones done.
That's what I thought. I thought I'd go with another, like do this big one and choose one of the slightly lighter. I think maybe I just chose one of the darker strands without realizing, that I would.
Yeah.
But there are a few strands that lean towards the lighter color, and so with a little more variegation in it. So I think I'm going to try to choose those for the next one and just see if I end up liking that.
Yeah, that's what I would do before I rip it all out.
To get a better picture of what.
Yeah, I think it looks fine, but if you're not happy with it, that doesn't matter.
I'm going to keep going and see if I end up liking. I'm wondering if maybe the orange is just orangier than I thought, and against the darker red. So maybe if I just changed that orange to more like a, what's that? Well, 351 or more of a like reddish red.
What were you using? 3777?
No, it's like an orange. It's 900. It's like a lot more orangey. So I just wanted more of like a classic red for the outline of the poppies.
Look at 37. I think it's 3777.
Okay, I'll have
kind of a red, but it's kind of an orangey red, but maybe less orange.
What color is that? Or I could just go with pinky red that they use. I'm gonna grab it out one more time. I could just go with, I have another red that they call for on the lighthouse and the little shovel. And it is, what is it? It's 3831. It's a DMC. So this is a mixture of DMCs. So I could just do the poppy outline with that red.
You could.
Try that on the like next one I do, and try that and see if I like that. And if I really like it, I could switch out.
Yeah.
Orangey color. So I just kind of, it looks a little better in the daylight. In the evening, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I like that. And then I have another brightly colored one that I worked on. Violet. Reporto di Primavera. I mean spring basket. And I've been stuck on this one section, just like the Christmassy one where I was doing the house. So I was determined to finish the white on her top.
It's all downhill from there.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that's the last big chunk of color.
Yeah.
It's white. So it's so cute. And I got that done. So I can finish her head and her pants.
Yeah.
And then I'll go on to finishing up the basket because there's big sprigs of flowers, but those go pretty quick once you get.
That'll go fast. And then there's some back stitching, I think, but
a little bit for the stems, I think.
But you can kind of wing that.
Yeah, they're just like straight stitches, so they don't even look that complicated. Yeah. This is such a line. I really want to have it done for spring.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do for finishing it. That's all the whips I worked on this week.
Okay, well, it's more than I worked on. I was a little more focused. Because I talked last week about how Bringo, I had 5 hours to do on my last project. So I worked on that a little bit each evening, and I didn't stitch real long times, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know why. I think we ate late, and I don't know, I was tired. But I did work on it, and it was my Loose Feathers Summer. So it's this part of the panel. There's 3 seasons, if you haven't seen them, by Blackbird Designs. Yeah. And I did, doesn't look like a huge, I'm doing this 1/1 on
thread
25. What'd you say, honey?
I forgot to pick up that thread that I dropped, and I was trying to pattern it in it. Okay.
So I finished all, I had like ABC D maybe.
Border.
I did this little border. I did some more leaves, and I did those flowers.
Cute.
That's like 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see here, let's see where to go. You can see it on the camera right here.
Yeah.
Little spot. Yeah, I had some ice cream with some chocolate on it, and I spilled on it. And I did that earlier in the month on another spot on here. Luckily, it's in the border. I can't see. I must have gotten it off. I was mortified. I looked down and I'm like, where did that chocolate come from? I was so careful.
Panic.
I did. This is like an heirloom piece. So, I'm not heirloom, but it's a big piece because I still have autumn.
Yeah.
And winter to do. So but I do want to keep working on this because I really do want to, this is going to be kind of a focal piece for the year. So I worked on that like 5 hours earlier in the week. I also worked on, I only had 3 things I worked on. I worked on my Joyful World SAL, and I finished January, 1 out of 12 done. Whoop, whoop.
Woohoo! Even in the whole month. I mean, you finished it in the actual month. Good job.
I know.
That was always helpful for me to like feel like I finished it in the month and could start the next one the next month.
I think I finished all those, what are those eyelets in the bottom?
I can't remember what they're called. What stitch they are.
See, I'm dropping things. She calls them eyelet stitch. And because I'm not doing the borders, I gotta get rid of this pillow because I'm just kind of falling off of it. Okay. Because I'm not doing the little individual borders. I'm just doing the pieces so they run into each other. I had to sit down and really kind of do some mental math on where I wanted to start February. And I think I figured it out that if I start the border bottom, it's ducks, so cute, and do like 7 extra stitches on that border and then start my actual pattern, it should line up so that there's a flower that kind of comes up and it'll be right along here. I'm hoping. I'm not very good at math. I can't, what?
Counting?
Well, no, but like I wanted, because this is a free pattern, so I want this to line up really close.
Oh, I see. So you wanted to scoot it.
January's, yeah, I want it to, I'm not doing a very good job here, but I don't want to start it too far in and then have it bump right into it. I need it to be, anyway, because that outer, there's because there's that border on both pieces. So I'm trying to count from how far the last bit of stitching is to that border. How far do I want to does she give between that border and then 1 month before? And then how many stitches are there between January's border and the end? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes sense in my mind, kind of. But those little eyelets took a long time.
They do.
There's a lot of stitching.
Like a lot of stitches. I really wish she had actually used more of those through the whole pattern.
I thought about doing them in a couple other squares.
Probably you. In hindsight, I think I might have done it in like 1 square per row or something.
Yeah, I don't really know why she didn't do it in more of them, because it is kind of cute.
It's really the only specialty stitch in the whole thing, and it was so pretty.
Yeah. So I was looking at it and thinking I might do those, like you said, in maybe one row. I think I'm doing mine different than Sarah. Sarah has 4 months across. I'm doing 3, 3, and 3. So mine will be, yours is wider, mine will be longer.
4 rows of 3, and I did 3 rows of 4.
Yes, 4 rows of 3.
3, 3, 3. And
Math. That's not my thing. Spatial ability, not my thing. So that took a little bit of time. And then the other thing that I just got so in the zone yesterday, it's all I worked on yesterday, and I didn't do much. Once I babysat my baby girl yesterday, once she left, I just worked on this all day. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. It's my present for my friend. It's Wendy Stitches' Dumpster Fire Friends Forever 2020. But look at this.
oh man. Whoa, you did a ton.
Isn't that pretty though, on the purple?
That purple. Yes. That's
Oh,
great.
I love it.
That's great.
So I basically, when I showed it last, I had this little bit of green done.
Yeah, you did a ton yesterday.
I did. And the colors, I've never used this thread. I don't know anything really about it. I bought her thread pack because it has some DMC, but then it also calls for these thread works.
Oh, pretty.
And this one, it's not going to show up real well, but it's very nicely variegated for the orange. And then the red is gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, that's been fun. I really do want to keep this going because I want to get this done to give to her. And it's not real big. This is as wide as it. This is as wide as it is.
Oh, that's all the way around.
Yeah. So it'll have that border down again below, and then it's got these X's and O's that are easy.
Yeah. Cute.
The birds will take me a little while, and the girls won't take too long.
The birds? Is that what you said?
The girls.
And the words.
Yeah, the words will probably take me. I mean, it did take me a while to do that border. There's a lot of color. There's not a lot of color changes, but this is like a digital. I printed this out, but like this flower in the corners has like 3 or 4 colors in it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But I really like this orangey one, man. I love that.
That's pretty.
And I love it on that purple fabric. So that was a big chunk of time yesterday. So that's really all I worked on this week. I mean, I made progress. That was good.
Do you want to talk about, so WIPGO for January is done. You met your WIPGO goals?
I did meet my WIPGO goals. It was
And
my cardinals. Yeah, my red cardinals and my forest queen.
You
I
have
did it.
show your progress or no?
I did not. Well, I didn't work on them anymore since last week. I think I showed them last week.
Oh, okay.
I was done working on them when I showed them last week. So.
I probably was sent to, but I grabbed mine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
right here. So I was working on Tunnel of Trees. Here, I'm just going to show the cover. It's this one from the Just Cross Stitch magazine. And this was my final. I don't have I'm not fancy like some people where they put like the start picture right here. I don't have that. I mean, I probably could figure out how to do that, but I'm not going to stress myself out this week. But when I started, I really just had some of the house done.
Yeah, you did a lot.
Some of this, I had like kind of most of this done and the tree, but I had to fill in some of the things, like these blue windows weren't done. I think I didn't have all this done, and then I did all this month.
Yeah,
so
great.
That done. And now I'm really excited because I think the next thing I'll do is work on the little Minnie Mouse costume girl. But I don't know if I'll pull it out again. It's on my WIPGO board a second time, so I might just put it aside until then. Or I might feel like, oh, today is a good day to work on it.
Yeah.
Work on Tunnel of Trees. The other big thing, I haven't really showed or talked much about the updates on this, but my other big goal that was called was floss organization. I wanted to spend 8 hours this month doing floss organization because, as you all know, if you've watched for any amount of time, my floss was a disaster. I had been given some floss, so I had 3 of those DMC cases with bobbinated flosses in it that were sent to me. And I had a friend who had picked up at Goodwill this binder that was full of flosses like that. So, and then I also had my own system that I was using baggies for each 100, like 100s, 200s. So anytime I wanted to start a new project, I had 3 different places that I would have to check to see if I had floss. So I really wanted to change that. I mean, that was just incidental because I'd been given that binder this fall, and the other one I think came this fall too, the boxes. But I was getting kind of like, oh, this needs to change. So I had decided, and I talked about this before, I had decided I would use floss away bags because they're the easiest way for me to contain multiple set of the same color, so that if I'm going to go pull flosses for a project and I have like 5 of the same one, they'll all be in the same bag and I can just pull what I need. So this is what I've done. I took all of the flosses that I have, barring like, I think I have like 10 more that I just ran out of floss away bags for. And I have 2. It's not, I mean, it doesn't look really pretty. I'm sure there are prettier systems, but it's really quite organized. So each 100 flosses, each, what do you call that? Like,
I call them decades.
Each decade of floss is on its own small ring, except for like 1 and 200 are together because I just don't those. So let's see if I can show, like, there's a small ring and it's hooked around in order, like 900, 700, 900, 800, 700, 600, around the 3-inch ring. And so every time I want to start a new project, and I know I need the 900s, I'm gonna pull up, I know this is 900s through 3800.
All your decades on 1 3-inch ring?
No, I have 2.
Oh.
So this is 1 through, I think it's 7 or 8. I can't remember.
Big ball of floss. Ball of floss.
Just balls of floss. I mean, like I said, it doesn't look that pretty, but it looks really pretty to me because it's really nicely organized. Now I
store those balls of floss.
Well, I currently have them nestled in this basket. So I might
see that basket behind me, that little IKEA basket there.
That one?
You should get one of those. They're really cheap. They're like $7. You can just
that would actually be nice, and I could just kind of close it up over the top.
And those are real soft and floppy, so
that would be good. Maybe I'll get one of those next time I go to.
Yeah, you should look.
I don't yet have. I think I might do the same system for fancy flosses, but I do have the same system that I had already. Like, part of the reason I thought this would work is because I have a bunch of pearl, number 5 pearl cotton DMC, and a few of them are like weeks. Ooh. Apparently I have a couple of my specialty flosses that are like regular weight. What do you call that? What's the difference? Okay, so like here's a number 5, really thick. So if you've never stitched with number 5 thread,
pearl cotton. Yeah, I call it pearl cotton.
You don't split it, as far as I know. At least I never have.
No.
I don't think you do. And I use these on all those shepherd's bush stockings. So I have quite a bit of pearl cotton. I have no idea what I'm going to do with those anymore. anymore unless I stitch more of those stockings. But there aren't that many patterns that call for that.
Who knows what might come down the pike in the stitching world? You never know.
So I have another ring with those, and I might just get a second ring for, I don't have a lot of over dye threads. I mean, I collect a little bit at a time, but I'll probably just get one more ring with some floss away bags to organize my like weeks and gentle arts and things.
Did you take all the floss out of that notebook then? Or is that what you've been taking out of there?
Well, okay, so
All of them.
how the notebook looks. It was full, like it was like this.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I have been taking it out when yes. If I have a floss away bag for that number with an actual skein of floss, then I pull what I have out of this because it looks like it's like individual strands looped around.
Well, do you bobbinate those then when you put them in your floss away?
But then that was getting tedious, so I just started kind of wrapping them up together and shoving them in the floss away bag. So like anything in here are ones I haven't already done floss away bags for because I just didn't have a reason to do that for like another skein. So like obviously I don't have like 221. I don't have an actual skein of that, so I didn't do a floss away bag.
Oh, okay.
My goal is to probably eventually do that. I haven't decided whether I want to deal with that or just kind of leave this and then deal with it as it comes. Because like, yeah, I just don't know. I think I'd rather just.
Are those numerical?
They're numerical. So I've got like the 200s,
okay.
100s, 400. There's a few.
I mean, if you got your bags and then you don't have one, you could always go look in that and pull it.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is, if I don't have it in my system, like my bag system, I'm just gonna buy it, create a floss away bag for it, and then I'll look through the binder and pull it and tuck it in there anytime I buy a floss that I don't already have in a bag.
Okay, that's great.
So I accomplished my WIPGO goals. My floss is organized. I now can find when I need it without having to look in multiple systems. I have a few more floss away bags to do.
All of our viewers are breathing a sigh of relief because they've been so worried.
Everybody can just breathe with me because now my floss is organized. I'm sure you're all so relieved. You don't. I know. So that's where I was at with my WIPGO. So what?
Oh, well, you want to show your WIPGO for this month? Do you have it pulled?
One of them is my Gathering Eggs that I already showed by Nora Corbett. Other is.
Oh, I did work on something else. Oh, I'll show it when we're done. When you're done.
Oh, here it is. The other thing that I got called for WIPGO is this piece. This Riolis.
That's gorgeous.
There's a name for it. I'm looking to see if there's an actual name. It might just have like a number. So I'm working on Riolis 1488, I guess is what it's called. I just call it my sunflower piece. I can show, I haven't worked on it since probably maybe November. I started it at Grandma's when Grandma was sick. I picked it up at Hobby Lobby on my way over to the Seattle area to see you, to be with you. I think I was at Hobby Lobby and I saw it.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
A special meaning for us with Grandma. Let me see. I can't remember if this is facing up or down. Oh yeah, okay. I think it goes like this. So this is just kind of smack in the middle of the piece, and there are petals facing. So there will be petals all around here. And there's like, I don't know how many colors that represents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Is that with regular floss or wool floss?
It's with wool.
Yeah.
It's with the kit. So it's a whole kit. So it came like this, and there you use
those Riolis patterns kits are European, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah, I'm guessing Russian or Ukrainian because.
Oh yeah. I think they're Ukrainian.
Ukrainian maybe. I did look up. I thought it would say. I'm not really sure. I think it's Ukrainian though. Now I'm spacing because it's been so long since I worked on it. I can't remember if you use 1 or 2 strands of these.
That's a lot of yellows. Whoa, mama.
Yellows. So there's one of they're so pretty though. Oh my gosh.
They are. It's going to be gorgeous.
More golds and oranges, green.
Ooh.
And then we have like blacks, browns, burgundies, amber.
Wow.
What do you call that? Or, you know, oranges. So here's all the, oh, it is so pretty. And this floss is, so it's wool and it's so soft. I mean, it's just like,
It looks soft. And it's got a little bit of
and plump.
sheen to it. Huh?
Yeah, it does. And it's plump. Like you stitch with it and it fills out the whole, like the whole space just because it's plump. I'm thinking it's 2 strands, but I'd have to look at the directions again. But like, it's just very full coverage. It ends up looking kind of like those really thick, like I'm working on that other dimensions kit that I haven't worked on forever. And it calls for a lot of 3 strands.
Oh.
So full. It looks like a tapestry.
Yeah.
I think this one looks like that too. So I'm excited to work on it again. I think I need to copy the pages. It's like one big.
Oh, yeah.
I think I need to figure out how to copy the pages, and then I don't know how to do that. I'm sure there's a way. But
Copy them?
I want to copy them so that when I'll know how they line up.
Oh, well, you could try it on our printer when you come over here.
I could, or I could, and what I could do is copy it, and if I get overlap, I could just cut so that it moves up, and then I could just lay them out and know that this is sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet.
Yeah.
If you've done that, if you have like a big poster size, I'm sure people have, like anybody who's, I don't know, stitched a while probably has done something like that. And you have tips for how to do that, I'd love to hear. Because I really won't work on it very comfortably if I have like a 7 sheet size chart in front of me.
Yeah. Yeah, that it is tricky. I did that for my Barbara Richards Bourgeot piece. It's
Yeah.
and I kind of know, I mean, I'll know it's not solid stitching, so I kind of can gauge where I started and stuff, but
a little harder.
It was a little tricky though. Yeah. So my WIPGO that got called was the Gathering Eggs. Did you show a picture of it actually done?
No, go ahead.
So that's her.
Yeah. I love her so much.
You know, my magazine is already falling apart. That's why I need to go make a color copy to work off of, because that's why I haven't worked on her. Is working off of a magazine is really hard for me.
Yeah, just as soon as we're done, you should just go quick, make a copy.
So she got called, and this is basically her little ruffly sleeve and part of her tummy, and I don't even know what else. I haven't worked on her for a while. Oh, but I can't wait to get to those pink flowers, those hollyhocks or whatever those are.
Oh, they're really cute. I know.
So she's going to get a lot of love this week, and I really do want to work on her. I think I just have been not gone and made that copy that I need to make.
I know. It's really not really fun to stitch out of the magazine. I really need to copy that, especially now that she's been called.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to be working on her way more focused.
Called, and then my Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow got called, and these will get called again in the year, at least one other time. And this is how far. Oh, I should show you a picture of it. So it's a big piece. It's a big one. If you're new to us, I have 2 Hawk Run Hollows going. I've got Christmas, and I've got the other one is called A Year at Hawk Run Hollow, which will also become a focal piece at some point. So I'm working on the first square here, which is the peacock. I heard the bells. And last time I worked on it, this is where I left off. So I have the words to do, and I have some little crowns that happen over here. I don't have that much more to go on this, actually, once I get the words done. So that's this month, and I will work on it for, did we say 8 hours? Were we both doing 8 hours?
We both were doing 8 hours, yeah.
So if I finish that in 8 hours, then I'm going to start the next square over.
Yeah. That's
well, no, I also have to do the border all the way around it, but it's just a square. It's just, you know, a one row border.
Especially since you've already got the in between, like you're just going to follow along.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be easy. So that's my WIPGO pieces for this month. And then I also planned out my January magazine month, my February magazine monthly pieces. And what I did I think I showed that last week, didn't I? I'm doing it on the Milk and Cream Co.
Oh yeah, you did.
But I don't know if I talked about what else I was doing, because I have the acrostic that is the word candy. And so I made it as simple as I could on myself. So I have well, if you didn't watch last week, I'm doing this is out of just cross stitch this month. By the way, I love this piece. I should have picked it as my piece, but I didn't. I don't need another big piece. I'm doing, where is it? A little pin cushion. ABCs of Love.
Oh,
So
that'll go fast.
yeah, that's my magazine focal piece for the month. And then for the word candy, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm doing, I'm giving myself, I want to start and finish this. So it's not only just my goal is to start and finish it. And so for candy, for the C in candy, I put this piece because there's a C in ABCs of Love. I also for A, also put ABCs of Love on it for however many hours it takes because of the Ada. The A, and also I'm stitching on Ada. I'm also going to keep working on my Joyful World. So I need to get February done. And that's for N because I'm stitching it on Stormy Night Lugana. It's also for my D in candy because it's got ducks on it. And then the Y in candy is my Sunflower Fairy by Nora Corbett, which is
that for fairy, the Y in fairy.
Yeah. No, for yellow floss. The Y in fairy would work too. So those are got to be in my forefront. But I was talking to Sarah today. Oh, I forgot to show you one other thing I worked on because I forgot I worked on this. It was our Things of Winter by Alicia Paulson.
Oh yeah.
I stitched that heart and I started these mittens and they are the devil.
Really?
I don't know what. I'm just having a hard time counting. I need to. So anyway, I did that heart and there's the beginning of my mittens.
You're going to finish it before me because that sweater's killing me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you pull out
I just like make myself deal with it. I just put it in the project bag, put it away because I just couldn't deal with it right now.
Okay. But when I was talking to Sarah, I said, okay, first of all, 614 Stitcher Candy commented on, I think on the Facebook group for Magazine Monthly. I said something about whips. I said, oh, I got so many whips. She goes, oh, I want to see them. Well, there's no way we're doing a video of all my whips, but I will show you. I kind of organized all my, since now that Bringo's over, I went through all my various baskets of projects, put them in order, kind of in groupings of our hashtags that we have, which are Merry Monday,
Truly Lovely Tuesday,
Wintry Wednesday. We had Therapeutic Thursday, but that Sarah kept forgetting to put that on our list.
It must have somehow gotten deleted on my, because it used, that's so good. Anyway.
So I thought, well, maybe we should call it Tremendous Thursday or Thrilling Thursday. So that's just, those ones are kind of whatever you want to stitch. Friday, we had Fall or Floral Friday. And then what did we have? Saturday and Sunday or Spring and Summer.
Sunday, Summery Sunday, or Saturday, Summery Sunday.
Yeah, and I got pieces for all those plus extra fun pieces. So Candy, this is for you if you're watching. This is one basket of whips.
Just one. How many baskets do you have?
There's two plus what's in my little basket here that are my focal pieces. So these ones are my spring and summer options. But this is overwhelming to me to think every night, well, what am I going to stitch on this? So I'll get to that in a minute. So there's spring and summer whips. And this is not all of them, guys, because there's a basket behind me behind that chair. Whoops, I can't bend my finger. There, right there. Right there. That has a bunch of whips in it. But they're not my favored whips. So they're not in the rotation yet. That's Candy and whoever else is watching are my fall and winter whips. And I think some of my ones that are like, that are like pandemic, hoity-toity, some of my other favorite ones that don't fit into a season.
Yeah.
So, but again, if I sit down on Monday night and go, oh, it's Merry Monday, what should I stitch on? I'm going to look at that and go, So I decided to jump on the Tiny Decisions app, the little wheel, and I have 4 wheels. and you can't see them. So, and that's what they look like. It's very blurry, but they have them all. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. But they have, when you make your wheel, all your pieces are on it like in a pie shape, and then you just spin it and it stops at one. So so then I thought, well, okay, on Sunday nights or whatever night I decide to do this, I'm going to pick my picks for the week, and then I won't have to think about it. So for Tuesday, for our Thursday picks, which was Truly Lovely Thursday, or Tuesday, and Tremendous Thursday, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces that are in that basket for those. Okay. And then for summer and spring stitching, I have, I'm still getting used to this app. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some of them, there's a couple of like new starts in there that I've wanted to start that I haven't started yet. Oh no, cancel. And then for winter stitching, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And for fall, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's not that bad. No. Yeah, it is bad. But then I feel like, because I really was talking about how I really liked in January, just knowing what I was going to stitch for the week, I kind of had an idea. Well, not for the week, because she was drawing the numbers every week or every day, but I had them all in a basket right there ready to go. So that's my new, I'm going to try this. We'll see how far I get. And I gave myself permission, if it picks something that I really don't want to work on, I don't have to work on it. I can dig in the basket. But this way, at least I feel like there's a little bit of structure for me to pick from. So, and give these things love, because they're not going to get stitched if I don't stitch on them. And I tend to get kind of focused on a couple of pieces, and then I forget that I've got these other ones. So my other plans, not only that, but I really, really want to, I did my tier tray for the first time for February, and I really like it. And I wanted to have a dough bowl, and but I really love the idea of little I don't have any little pillows or any cross stitch things in my tier tray. I don't have a lot of little tiny things, but I had bought last year the Prairie Schooler. Oh, it's not cut yet. It's the birds and bird houses. I'd open it, but I don't have any scissors. And I'd love to stitch a couple of these. And then I also, a long time ago, had printed from Snowflower Diaries. She had some freebies on her website. So she's got this tulips with a chick. Cute. Kind of faded, but there's a little chickie there. And then she also had this one, tulips with a bunny.
That's a cute one.
And then I also had purchased these Prairie Schoolers that have little pillows that are springy.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah, I really love those.
So cute. They're a lot of stitching though.
Yeah, that will take a while. They look little, but those won't be little.
I know. And these two.
I love those too. So
my goal is to kind of figure out how to build. I don't have those in my little decision wheel thing, but I would like to start doing a few of those. And so I haven't spun the wheel for next week, except for I know WIPGO pieces will get worked on, and my January picks will get worked on. Do you know what you're going to work on?
I'm going to work on my WIPGO choices.
Oh.
And
Barbara Anna.
And the new Barbara Anna. I was just pulling up a picture. I just thought, oh, I should pull up a picture of that.
Yes, Barbara Anna.
I think it goes out tomorrow.
Yes.
First. You can buy it, I'm sure, anytime after that.
Yeah.
For the Dreaming Girl SAL. So I'm planning on starting that tomorrow. And I'm sure I will probably be kind of addicted working on that some this week.
There's my fabric. Do you have yours pulled?
I have it right here. Grab it.
There's my floss. Smash it up there.
There it is.
As we are want to do. There, that doesn't look too bad.
Get some floss for this. Oh no, it's.
Tell us if you're joining in on this one.
So we're doing Dreaming Girl. Yeah, let us know if you're doing this. Sue, who's expecting that ours as a gift, it's coming. I'm gonna mail out, if you haven't gotten any giveaways from us that I'm responsible for mailing, I'm gonna try to get to the mailbox, post office this week or next. I think that's so pretty on the purple too.
I think, yeah, her colors are so vibrant that it's kind of fun. I mean, you could do it on any fabric and they're going to be amazing. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to try something different. So I did the purple.
I'm still so proud of how this came out.
Yeah.
My dad just made fun.
I've got floss ways to put my flosses in. Huh?
My first foray into RIT dye, I think it came out so pretty in model.
You know, you can go on their RIT dye website and they've got like recipes for colors. I never knew that. In fact, I never even thought that I could get my RIT dye out and actually mix colors together because
you probably could come up with some really pretty.
I could. I'm going to have to.
So that's the plan. I'll probably still kind of follow the hashtags, some here and there.
Yeah.
That's my plans.
Right.
Haul?
Yeah, we got plenty to work on.
Yeah. Do you have haul?
Hmm?
Do you have haul? Did you show all?
Oh, I do have haul. I did. Well, so you know how I have talked how on Fridays I don't work. So I did venture out. I don't do it every Friday, but I do like, it's just kind of a nice break in my week to go up to the little neighboring town where my needlework store is, but there's also a Hobby Lobby. So I kind of do a day of it. And there's also a Trader Joe's. So I usually get my Trader Joe's. I don't buy a ton there, but there's certain things I buy there. My Trader Joe's always has a line to get in it. And I don't want to. So I went and bought a bunch of flosses for my birds of a feather, the loose feathers, the birds. I thought, you know, I want to have them all for fall and winter too. So I went ahead and just bought them. And some of them I already have, but I bought a second one for because I don't want to run out. They, you know, because it's 2021, which is just, you know, 2020 part 2, and things are hard to find. So she had a bunch of them. There was one color she didn't have, which was, I think, Classic Colorworks hazelnut she didn't have in. So anyway, I bought those. I also bought, I've looked at this before and I always wanted it and I just thought I'm going to buy it. Tiny Modernists. She's called the Stitch Goddess.
Oh yeah.
And I just think she's really quirky and fun. She reminds me of Barbara Anna.
Yeah.
And I love all those little motifs, the little squirrels and the little bunnies.
The bottom are really pretty too. Or the flowers and the hedgehog and stuff along the bottom are really cute too.
Oh, I know. It's really pretty. And I'll probably try to get fabric that's this color because I really like it on that. So I bought that, and the other thing I bought, I saw it on somebody had picked this piece, I believe, for their magazine monthly pick, or they started it. I don't remember what, but I saw it and I thought, oh, that's so pretty. And I bought this on eBay. This old. It's just cross stitch April 1999. It's called Medieval Wildflowers.
Oh, that's pretty.
But look at that border.
You're stitched. Woo. That's a stitched border.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But isn't it pretty?
It's really pretty.
And if you love this piece and you don't want to buy the hard copy, but you have the CDs that I've talked about, it is on one of the sets of CDs that I have talked about that you can get on Amazon. It's actually on the cover of, I didn't even realize it. I didn't even bother to look at my CDs, my discs. I just went ahead and found it. There were a couple of copies of this, but I just thought that is so pretty. But
you're really making good use of those CDs. I think every time
I have used them.
Multiple times you showed a magazine and like, I could have just used the CD for this.
No, one other time. And it was that Halloween one that you found the magazine in.
Oh, that's the only other time? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There might have been one other time, but
it might have.
I have stitched other stuff. And then I bought our giveaway. I bought this for one of our lucky viewers. I kind of broke my rule of just finding pieces that had DMC conversions already on them. But this is such a cute piece and it's been around for a while. And it is just, I just love it. It's simple. And there is no reason why whoever wins this, it doesn't want to do fancy floss, could pull their own DMC because it's not that complicated.
No.
It's Hens and Chicks by Brenda Gervais. Yeah, I knew that didn't sound right. But I mean, you know, the only thing you would really, the biggest blocks of color are her dress and that white. And I told Sarah, I was looking at it when I got it home and I was dying laughing because the comb on her head and the comb on the baby chicks, she calls for a Valdani silk. And I'm like, no, I would not buy a Valdani silk just for that.
No, don't do it. I mean, you can't, I guess if you add it or something.
Yeah, and if you want to, you could, but I don't want anybody to feel like they can't enter this giveaway because it wouldn't turn out cute because maybe those flowers are Valdani, but you could find DMCs that are just as pretty as that. I love the Valdanis that I'm working with on my Nora Corbett, but there's bigger chunks of color, and I just don't think it would matter. And her dress, maybe, you know,
maybe the dress is, I would think if I was going to do that piece and I wanted to still get variegation, I would pick the dress and I would pick the apron. Or maybe the feathers. It looks like there's a different color for the apron. But I think the rest, I would probably just find it.
Yeah, and even that dress in the stitched piece doesn't have that much variegation in it.
No, so you could just do.
Yeah, so anyway, we didn't think of a word or a question or whatever, but we'll ship it anywhere. Tell us your favorite thing to do with eggs. Mention the word eggs.
Eggs.
Eggs. Eggs is easier than egg.
Eggs, plural. What do you like to do with eggs? Plural eggs is the word that I will search for when I do our giveaway. And we had a giveaway. Should we just, well, do you want me to do my stitchy kindness and then do a giveaway?
Oh,
I didn't buy anything, but Claire from StitchedLit a while back had asked if I can't remember if I asked her. Maybe I was like, if you're done with that, can I have it? I can't remember. I think she had asked if there was something that she knew I liked or something. So she had sent me before a few of these other, I need to stitch these. I actually have some fabric. Maybe I'll start a few of these just for some quick finishes. So I think I have maybe July, August, September already that she had sent me when she finished it with them. And now I have October, November, and December.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that cute December with the ornaments.
Pineapple.
It's cute. And then
it was done fast.
I know, those are really cute. So she sent me that, and then oh my gosh, I really love this piece, and I love how she stitched it. So you should go find her like Instagram or her own Flosstube, StitchedLit. She sent me this.
That is so cute.
I was thinking about how pretty this would be in the girls' room, just like maybe about their door or something. Oh, I love it.
That is a really beautiful piece.
How wonderful life is now that you're in the world. Now you're in the world. Which I love that song anyway.
I know. Oh, that's so sweet.
I know. So,
that heart and hand designs.
Yeah. And I'm like so happy that she sent that. So Claire, if you're watching, thank you. I'm really happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be really cute in the girls' room.
I don't have enough whips yet.
No.
One more.
Sarah has a friend who's coming over the dark side, by the way.
So I remember last week I talked that I went away with my friend and her mom for a little stitching retreat, and I had a huge bag full of projects. And my friend's mom, who's a quilter, and I think she's very monogamous project person, was like, "Wow, you have a lot of projects going." And I was like, "Yes, I do." And then, so her daughter, my friend, last night said, "I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna have 4 whips," and I was like, "Yes, come over."
4 whips.
4 whips. She's coming out the dark side.
But we do have a winner for last week's giveaway, which was Shepherd's Bush's
Be Busy. So I searched for the word B, B-E-E.
I thought you were searching for busy.
Busy, you're right. I searched for the word busy. My bad. As I was saying that, I was like, no, I didn't. I didn't do that. I searched for the word busy like we asked you to do. And the winner is Heather Miller. So congratulations, Heather.
Oh, Heather.
I already have your address, so we'll just stick that in the mail someday when we get to the post office. And since we're going to stick the girls, when Liddy made those pot holders, we'll stick those in together.
Oh, yeah. So after next week.
So when we come over next weekend, I'll bring them or I'll get that from you and take it back or however.
Other thing I need to work on, I was telling Sarah, I wanted to, there's zones in my house that really need to be, I mean, they're getting to a point in my house where when I walk into these areas,
Critical mass. They're reaching critical.
they're starting to make me angry when I walk into these areas. I told her that. I open my Tupperware, it's Tupperware and other stuff, and it falls out on the floor and it just makes me angry because.
And I've been telling her for years, why do you store these here? It makes me anxious when I open that cupboard and have to find a lid. You have like hundreds of Tupperware options with hundreds of different lids. Now I can never find any.
Well, I need to go through those too.
So it doesn't matter if I can, but if you're at the point where you can't, then that's a problem.
Yeah, and my laundry room, which is really, my laundry room is, originally this house, my laundry room was part of the garage. And then the people that owned the house before us turned the garage into a living room, which we then turned into a bedroom. But there's a strip of it that they left just rough.
Left a strip of the original garage. So it's not even the floor. It's just like, what is that floor?
It's like, yeah, and it's just the width of the garage was long, skinny, and but it's our only storage. And so we've got lots of shelving in there, and it's so bad. It's so bad.
It doesn't seem that bad to me. It's been
oh my gosh. The other night, so my washer and dryer right behind, like if you're standing in my washer and dryer, right behind you is this big shelving unit. It's got like my canned peaches. It's got baking dishes. It's got cookie tins that I use at Christmas that I have too many of. It's got, I don't even know what all it's got. It's got so much stuff. And so the other night, my son was here and he laid his phone down and he couldn't find it. And we wandered around, a bunch of us. We were here for family dinner night, and we couldn't find this darn phone. And he was doing a load of laundry, and we thought, did you lay it down in the laundry room? Because he knew it wasn't in the washer or dryer. So I went down there and looked at that. There's no way he could have laid this phone down. There's no surface that he could have laid this phone on. So I do need to start. I don't know. I need to motivate myself because. I just do. I need to, like, maybe on Fridays. Well, Fridays are kind of my day. I don't want to do Friday is my.
That is like a work
Yeah,
around.
maybe Saturdays I just need to go and maybe clean off one shelf in that laundry room. Just one shelf. Get rid of stuff before I can sit down and cross stitch or something. I need to like motivate myself, bribe myself, because it's just reach, and I've done it before, and it's just been several years since I've done it, and it's just our catch-all place.
Essentially stuff you just kind of have to go back and re-clean it and put it back where it belongs, or figure out a better system if it didn't work.
There's old craft stuff, like some old fabric, stuff that I don't really want to get rid of, but I just need to get rid of some of it.
Yeah, and some of it's not really that accessible, so you wouldn't use it anyway. So
no.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about moving in a couple of years when my husband retires, and we cannot take all the stuff in this house. I mean,
yeah,
we could, but there's no need to. But when you live in a house for 26 years,
yeah,
you do fill it up. So anyway, that's I'm tired of having anxiety and anger every time I open a cupboard and things fall on my head.
Yeah, that's a sign it's time to do that. That's how my house has a lot of storage downstairs. So there's a like top floor and a basement that's finished, and it has a ton of storage going down the hall to the like in the basement, but it like built-in cubbies. But upstairs I don't have anything. I have a broom closet, and then I have a very, like, you open the door and there's like this much room. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out, from like the front to the back. So there's not like a lot, and that's my pantry. And it does go from floor to ceiling, but you can't put anything big in there.
Narrow, yeah.
Cupboards are usually full of like dishes and cooking things. So one of them has flour, but that little skinny pantry is like your laundry room, where I just have to clean it out periodically because stuff it's not big enough to even really put organizational systems in that make sense. Like it's not like wide enough for like a can, or maybe, like if you angle them right, you can fit 2 cans in there. But so it ends up with stuff like crackers and bread and stuff that is just shoved in there, popcorn, and then it falls out every time you like noodles or. So that's
this room that I'm in right now used to be our master bedroom, and the closet back there was our whopping big walk-in closet. And it's the same thing as that you're talking about. The way the rods were to hang clothes, they weren't deep enough for a hanger to actually go in without having to tip it up. I mean, it was the most ridiculous thing. I hated that closet. I mean, it was like the bane of my existence of that closet. But I'm like, who built this house? I mean, why did they do that? It's like common sense.
Hang clothes on.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Anyway, that's our rambling. That's my rambling.
You have any book chat?
No, except for we had commenters that have read Miss Reed, which I was so surprised about because they were like some obscure little book that I had found years ago that I never knew anybody else that had ever read them. And I'm still reading my Keeper of Lost Things. My reading has been a little less this week because I was staying up late stitching and I don't even know what else I was doing. But I do want to start. There is a Miss Reed on my Kindle, and so I do want to start that. I think it's the first one. There's 2 series in Miss Reed, so there's 2 sets, and I have the first one of them on there. So that's my next read, but I don't have anything really gripping going. I am enjoying my little book though.
I am still reading the lovely history of the Whitman events, massacre, whatever, called Unsettled Ground. And it has moved past it's just establishing how the original people, the native peoples here, had original contact with the white people and how that kind of went down, which I've studied a lot about in general in the US, but I don't know a lot about our specific region. So I'm kind of past the hard, it'll come back to it. It's sort of setting the stage for why did that happen? What was really going on and what led up to that, what we call a massacre. So I'm reading that still, and I'm still reading The Spindle's End by Robin McKinley, but I'm kind of not, I used to be also a monogamous reader, and I haven't been for a long time. So I'm in a study group. So for homeschooling, we use the Charlotte Mason philosophy of homeschooling, which you don't need to know what that is if you don't already know, but I love it, and I love to talk about it. So I'm in a study group she has 6 volumes about education that I have never read all 6. I've read 2 of them maybe. So I joined this Zoom study group that meets once a month last fall. And we read through and discussed her first book. And now we're reading through and discussing her second book, which is called Parents and Children. And it is so timely. She wrote it 100 something years ago, but it's still so fitting and timely. And it's made me be very thankful that I have kind of used her guidelines for education and discipline and thinking through things with my kids from a young age, because it's very focused on habit formation and just how that impacts character development. And so it's been actually really encouraging to read, because I had read it when the girls were really little. This specific book called Parents and Children is about parents and children. And so it was helpful then in guiding sort of how I wanted to approach raising the girls. And I'm starting to see a lot of fruit from all that labor. And so that's made me really thankful. The other thing I'm reading is a creepy book called, it's the second in the series called Lockwood and Co. And it's about these ghost hunters. And it's sort of a young adult fiction book, but it's by an author called Jonathan Stroud. And he wrote another series that Jesse and I both really liked a while back called the Bartimaeus trilogy or something, which I never really finished that trilogy. I just got distracted. I probably had babies and put it aside. But my friend, who's in high school, recommended these and loaned them to me. So I'm reading this, and the first one was good. I'm reading the second one. And then I also this morning, so we went to the bookstore I mentioned yesterday, and Rosie bought this book with Christmas money for Patricia McLaughlin, who wrote Sarah Plain and Tall and some other really Skylark and Baby. And Rosie hasn't picked those up, but they're really good level for her, and they're not very thick. So she gets the satisfaction of having read a book and finished it really quick. So she bought this one at my recommendation with her Christmas money yesterday, called The Poet's Dog, and it's from 2016, so it's fairly recent.
Oh, I didn't know she was still writing.
I was like, you should read this, Mom. And so she handed it to me this morning, and it took me all of a half hour to read it, because big print and stuff. And it was so good. It's about this dog it's about these children who are kind of lost in a snowstorm. And this dog, I don't think this is giving much away, because I think he used to live with a poet in this cabin, but the poet has died somewhat recently. So the dog is left, and the body's not in there. It's not creepy or anything, but the dog got left there, and saves these children, and they can talk, like dogs in this story can talk to children and to poets. And so he takes them in and they weather the storm together. It is so sweet. It was, even though it's geared towards children, it would be lovely for any age. So if you're looking for just, even at the library, you could probably get it from the library and read it in like an hour. But it was so sweet and uplifting. It was really fun to connect with her for that book. She felt so happy. And then this is one I bought I had a gift card, although we forgot to use it. Jesse paid for it. And I was like, wait, I had walked away for a minute. So actually, it's called Jack, and it's by Marilyn Robinson. This cover is gorgeous. Look at that.
Yeah.
Like all those, is this fuchsias?
Is that a new one by her?
Yes, it's brand new this year. So she wrote Gilead and Home and Lila, and I've read Gilead and Lila, and Home is I've been slowly savoring it, but I haven't finished it. I need to finish it, and this is the fourth one in sort of taking place in that town about the same set of characters about Jack. Have you read these?
I either read Gilead or Home, but a long time ago.
Good read.
Like so long ago, I couldn't even tell you, because she was kind of a hot ticket item.
Yeah, she kind of flew through.
Yeah, when I was reading a lot. When I read, even before I was teaching, but
I probably have three favorite authors. Elizabeth Gooch, who we've talked about, I think, recently, because one of our viewers did.
I've never read anything by her.
Gosh, I love her so much. I love Elizabeth Gooch, Wendell Berry I love, and then Marilyn Robinson are probably like my top three. I think probably top three authors that Madeleine L'Engle. That's probably number 4.
Yeah.
That I read everything they've ever written. So I was really happy to buy this. I don't usually buy hardback books new. I mean, it wasn't too much.
But there's certain, I told you, like I own all the Jacqueline Winspear, Maisie Dobbs in hardback. Yeah. My other favorite authors, one of them was Rosamund Pilcher, but I believe she's passed away. I own a lot of her books in hardback. And Maeve Binchy, who did pass away. She passed away.
I think so.
I think Rosamund Pilcher might have just retired. But Maeve Binchy was another one of my very favorites. They're very similar style. They're like a more updated version of the Miss Read books. I like character-driven books. I'm not a big mystery reader. I'm not a big spy reader. I'm not a big, I just like those books that are slow and have a lot of character development. I call them. And so anyway, I love them. And I bought a lot of them in hardback because I knew that someday when I retire, and have way more time, I would probably go back and reread a lot of those books. It's been a lot of years since I read a lot of Rosamund. I haven't read any Rosamund Pilcher in a decade at least, because she doesn't write anymore. So
he did pass away in 2019.
Who did?
Rosamund Pilcher.
Rosamund? Yeah. And Maeve Binchy
did
after that, I think. Right?
Let me look. I can look it up. Maeve Binchy.
Yeah, I just know that Rosamund Pilcher stopped writing before she died. Maeve Binchy was writing
in 2012. And I need to read more of theirs because I've read.
She died in 2012. It's been that long.
Yeah, that's what the internet says. So
I feel like years. But Rosamund Pilcher, like I said, stopped writing way before she passed away. Yeah, I like them. Shell Seekers was the very first one I read by Rosamund Pilcher. It was the first one I read of that style, and I just got so sucked into it. And then I read everything by her. And then somehow I found Maeve Binchy. And another person that I've read a little bit of, but I haven't read that much of, that's similar to them, is Marcia Willett, Willett. She's British, so some of her books aren't readily available, or they're available later. They're published there first. I don't know if they're available for Kindle. Like I said, I haven't looked for her for a while, but she was similar style. So if you're looking for that kind of book, check her out.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Okay.
That covers all of our topics that we try to hit.
Covers our life.
Covers our life. What you making for dinner?
I am making.
Oh, you told me earlier. I can't remember.
Yeah, egg roll in a bowl. So it's basically just egg rolls without the wrapping. And I just bought like pre-done coleslaw for the filling, so I don't have to do a lot of prep.
Is there a recipe online for that?
There's a ton of them. This one is actually a Pampered Chef recipe because I ordered a Pampered Chef thing. So I got access to a couple of their recipes.
I feel like maybe
Oh,
I've seen a recipe recently from one of my favorite food blogs, but I can't remember which one. But yeah,
Emily Bites have one. Emily Bites might have one, or
they're delicious. Maybe.
yeah, I'm sure she does. And then I just have a couple of Trader Joe's sides. Like I told Sarah, I bought these little soup dumpling things that she and my other son love. And
freezes last week. I think we talked about them last week.
yeah,
No, my
little
thinking about that.
stickers. And what Sarah's having for dinner, I think we might have tomorrow night.
Yeah, we're having what did I say? Grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup. And I didn't even plan it. My husband planned that. So I don't know if that means he's making it or if I'm making it, but I don't mind making that. That's easy. I usually don't do a lot of cooking on Sunday. I kind of try to take that night easier, but I didn't put anything in the crock pot. So we're having grilled cheese, and maybe we do have one more little package of those soup dumplings from Trader Joe's. I might get those out, and Jesse and I can split 3 and 3 to go with our sandwiches.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I love the comments that say you feel like you're sitting, like chatting. Like that just makes me happy because that's how I
We were going to talk about.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, but it's at the very end. We should have led with this. Well, if you really hung in here, you're going to get a little bonus content, I guess.
Yeah.
So we had talked about how it would be fun to do a Zoom meetup. This is what you're thinking about, right?
Uh-huh.
And we were thinking about the weekend of Valentine's Day. So kind of doing like a Valentine's Day Zoom meetup, not on Valentine's Day though.
Sunday of that weekend.
Sunday of that weekend. So that will be the 14th. Are we talking about doing it on the 14th?
Oh, we're going to do it on Saturday because I'm
Saturday.
earlier in the day. Well, in the afternoon, like early afternoon or whatever. We got to figure out the time difference for people. But
yeah, so on the
I'm not available till at least noon our time. I'm getting my second vaccine in the morning, I think at 10. So then we wanted to do it that day in case I have any kind of reactions. Sunday I might be out of commission, but
don't have reactions.
I hope not. Some people aren't, so I'm fingers crossed. But
so
yeah,
14th, and we're thinking Pacific Standard Time. We would do it early afternoon, right? That way, people who are like potentially in other parts of the country who want to join, or the world who want to join, could maybe, if we're kind of smack in the middle, people could go later or earlier.
If we did like it, we'll figure out the time. But like if we did it at 1 o'clock our time, a lot of people are 3 hours ahead of us, so that would make it later.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
which is doable.
But we could do it by noon our time, and that would be 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so we'll figure out the details. But if you're interested, what we want to do is create like an email list, or not a list, but like send an email with the link so that we can limit. I don't want to just post a link out to the like internet and have, I don't know, weirdos show up. So, and like spam it or do any weird stuff. So if you're interested in doing like a little, we're thinking like chatting, we can cross stitch together, bring your cup of tea, and we'll just pretend we're at a little coffee or tea shop, enjoying cooking together live, real time. We'll talk about that earlier in the video next week so that people who are interested won't, because I know people might watch like 10, 20 minutes and get interrupted and not come back. I do it all the time with videos. So we'll talk about it a little earlier. Video.
But if you're watching and you want it, our email is down below.
Yeah, so in the description box down below, I always have our email. Send us an email saying, I'm interested in the February 13th Zoom cross-stitch meetup or whatever. I don't know. We should think of a cute name for it, and we'll make sure you get that link sent to you. I think that will be fun. It'll give us something to look forward to.
Yeah, something to look forward to. Because I don't know anybody that's getting together to stitch with anybody, or, I know there's a lot of other people. I know like Amy Loves Toads has talked about getting together and Zoom stitching. She does it like every week, I think, or with some stitchers in Texas. And,
we're going to see. And that would be really fun. Okay. Thanks for hanging in. I'm amazed if anybody makes it this video, but if you did, gold star for you. Congratulations.
Safe and be well.
We hope to see you next week.